Rodon thought about going long, thought about sending it down the line to find James Justin.
Yeah, you know what, it was good play from Rodon, because he could have easily tried to squeeze that ball forward.
Here is Justin now, but it's not the best of balls forward. We know just how much Leeds like to get those wide players into really advanced areas. Said Daniel Farke that the style of football is perhaps more suited to playing for titles, which we've seen do on numerous occasions in the Championship, but there's been a need to change things this season, and of course the big change that came at the Etihad, from which Leeds haven't looked back since going to a back three.
It's amazing, and it's great that you're looking at managers and what they can do differently, and that's what I do feel. In the Premier League, we've seen so many teams get promoted in the Championship, but their identity hasn't changed, and that's where top managers, good managers, find a different solution to start winning games. It can take them away from being in anywhere near a relegation battle.
Madueke again, and again Leeds with plenty of players in pursuit of winning possession back. Here's Gabriel and Declan Rice. Rice once again. Timber, who can look to move Arsenal forward. He knocks it to Madueke. And pulled back, but Ampadu there to tidy things up for Leeds.
It's interesting to see. We touched on the formations of both sides, and just looking at the way that Leeds have set up, they do look like they're actually in a back four this afternoon. I know that changes when they're out of possession. Justin on this right-hand side, and Jayden Bogle that's playing more of a right wing role today, but out of possession they are sort of tucking in, and Justin's going alongside Joe Rodon, so interesting one to keep an eye on that one.
Sent forwards, but he's going to run out of play. Injury to Bukayo Saka, an injury, left hip injury. It's how serious that will be for Mikel Arteta.
A huge blow, isn't it? Saka, I mean, his Premier League numbers aren't where they normally are, but having him out of the side and not available, interesting how long that will actually be.
He's currently on his longest run without a goal in all competitions in his career. Trossard clips it forwards, looking for Gyökeres, who works it well to find Havertz. He helps it on to find Zubimendi, who doesn't catch it with any conviction.
Well, there's that little bit of combination play. I think that's why Victor Gyökeres has got to be the focal point he is. He gets hold of it. It's good, clever little play. Havertz and Zubimendi combining there.
Decision goes Leeds' way. Last time they beat Arsenal here in the Premier League, all the way back in November 2000. Olivier Dacour with the goal. And that Rio Ferdinand was watching from the stands, having just joined the club from West Ham. So the ball being dried by Ethan Ampadu.
Did the Palace game here, and they caused no end of problems, these throw-ins.
And they pose problems again. Plenty of distance on it from Ampadu. Darlow just flights one forward. There's the target, it doesn't reach him. Ampadu again. Playing with the confidence here, Leeds.
They've been good at home, they have. And they are trying to make this place a real tough place to come for lots of reasons. It's always been a fortress for Leeds. They are playing some really tidy football at the moment with that confidence, with that purpose.
unbeaten here in 5 at-home victories over Chelsea, Crystal Palace and Fulham. Draws against Liverpool and Manchester United. That Manchester United game, perhaps the only game where they found the going a little difficult in this new system. Manchester United, of course, were playing a back three themselves.
I think when it's like for like, I mean, that's where you probably have to have a plan B, don't you? Playing in that back three, back five at times. It's a system that can be really, really effective, but you're coming up against a side that's very similar in that sort of setup. It's hard, it's difficult.
It's the only defeat that they've had since that one against Manchester City in November. A very tough one to take at St James's Park when they lost so late on. Full-blooded challenge goes in, and a challenge which has been penalised.
Stuart Atwell straight across. It was a foul. I think he's just looking for it as well, isn't it? Strap comes right across. It's a faint little touch away from him.
He knows Gyökeres that he'll be in for a tough, a physical afternoon here. He's more than happy to get plenty about himself. Take forwards by Zuma Mendes, seeking Gyökeres. This time in battle with Joe Rodon, and he does well. He finds Kai Havertz. Madueke, offside flag raised over on the far side.
Oh, they are looking to get the ball into Gyökeres, and this is brilliant. It's really, really good. It was a tight call as well. Hold up play. Tell you what, that is a tight call. James Justin could have just been playing. Madueke onside there. Arsenal being that little bit more direct into Gyökeres, use him, play off him.
To do. Timber straight into, make life difficult for Aronson over on the far side. Leeds emerge with possession. This time they go from back to front, seeking Calvert-Lewin. Very, very calmly dealt with by Gabriel.
It's very casual, as you'd expect from a top defender.
6th successive start this afternoon for Gabriel after returning to the team. The goals in his first 2 starts back in the team. They've needed them, haven't they, Arsenal? They've needed those goals to be chipped in from the defenders with the problems that they've had, the lack of open play chances they've created. Trossard steps in well.
They're going to need goals from all over the team. That's when you get that contribution from your defenders, your midfielders. I do feel that that's the only area in that forward line. If they can get a lot more of a tune in that forward area, particularly in the Premier League, I don't think it's been much of a problem in cup competitions, but when you get back to domestic league, that's the important one where it's going to win them the title.
There's problems from open play. They average the 5th lowest XG from open play in the Premier League through the course of January. To find a way to be a bit more creative, to make a few more things happen. Leeds get the free kick this time.
I think that's when you go back to that nervous mindset, don't you, from an Arsenal point of view. They've been close over seasons and fell away. They've not had that positive mindset. Sometimes you can sit in and be pragmatic and think that the more effective forward players are going to go and win your games. It's not the case. Premier League so competitive.
Just pulled back by Stuart Atwell. feels at the moment, doesn't it? Just needs this one moment to make this game ignite. Really clever ball forwards there to find Havertz. Now Trossard into the Leeds penalty area, but his cross is cut out.
Yeah, we're just looking at the back four, which it is in Leeds. Is that there is a big space because then wide players are drawing the central midfielders out. It's a clever run from Kai Havertz into that little 10 central pocket where we receive the ball.
Madueke looking to get the better of Aronson, hangs one up towards the back post. Caldalo worried, and it's nodded behind for an Arsenal corner. Doesn't appear in any real rush right now, does he, Declan Rice? Waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Midway through the first half here at Ellen Road. Again, crowd of players beyond the back post. Whipped in by Rice. Dangerous ball, but it's one which Leeds managed to get out of harm's way. Gabriel sends it in, headed high, but still a problem here for Leeds. At the second attempt, manages to get it away. Now Gabriel once again for Arsenal. The ball into the box, and it's one which is cut out by Strauch and then helped on by Gudmundsson.
Yeah, it's good play from Arsenal. Patient approach, and maybe that ball a little bit better. One of the Arsenal forwards might just get on the end of that. Mendy tries to play a driven pass straight across that 6-yard area.
Top of the table for 127 days this season, Arsenal, with the chance to extend their lead to 7 points here this afternoon, and they'll get to go again from a corner.
I think with the games tomorrow as well, you know, Manchester City, it's the Villa plate, and you do feel that this is one that they could just have that little bit of an edge, a little bit of cushion, just quiet the noise, put the pressure on the two that are chasing.
Plenty of discussion taking place, and David Raya just came all the way up to Declan Rice in the Leeds half to just offer some thoughts to him as well. So here we go again with the Arsenal corner. Darlow gets a fist to it. There's Trossard. Claims of handball now in Capier, but his touch is heavy and allows the ball to be cleared away.
Just looking at Joe Rodon there, celebrating that clearance. I don't think he even headed it. I think he was just, you know, so pleased that they cleared that. I mean, it's chaos in that 6-yard area, and that's why Arsenal are so dangerous. And deep runs into the near post. Everyone's got to be picking up and doing the job correctly.
Capier to Rice. Rice comes over to take. The players a long way across the penalty area here for Arsenal. And it comes from Declan Rice. He pushes it in to find Saliba. Timber to Madueke. Havertz, Gyökeres and Gabriel all waiting inside the penalty area. The cross comes now. Quick tie, can Darlow prevent the corner? He's unable to do so. Corners beginning to rack up now for Arsenal.
Yeah, they're asking the question, aren't they? They're forcing Leeds back defensively. That's the movement from Timber, offering his support on that right-hand side from Madueke.
Little period of pressure beginning to build here. Trying to Zion Gabriel in the middle. There was plenty going on. Crowded 6-yard box as it comes in. Darlow gets something on it and Leeds scramble it as far as Declan Rice pushed out wide to find Madueke. Ikadu's gone down in the box. The game goes on. Madueke sends in the cross and Arsenal have the lead. It's a goal which has been coming. Flicked in by Martin Zubamendi. And it comes off the back of Arsenal's best period of the game. Leeds 0, Arsenal 1.
I mean, you felt it was coming. Listen, Leeds have defended so gamely up to now. I'll tell you what, they just refilter, reignite that attack. Declan Rice just pushing that ball out wide. This is the corner that was played in. They deal with it. It's very scrappy, but there's Declan Rice sitting in that pocket. Ball out to Madueke, one to his left, and the ball's sublime. It's all about who can get in the box, and it's hard to reshuffle and defend and go again, and that's where Zubamendi gets in front of everyone. It's a great run, really is. One that you expect from the midfielder, and it's a brilliantly well-timed and super header at that near post. Pascal Darlow, because of the pace that Noni Madueke, who comes in the side for Saka today, gets his assist.
4th Premier League goal of the season for Martin Zubamendi. Good point you make, Lee. Noni Madueke wasn't supposed to be in the starting lineup for Arsenal. Bukayo Saka got injured in the warm-up. Leeds have to find a way to respond.
Well, they have sat back, and listen, you have to be respectful to this Arsenal side. You just know that they can punish you any time during a game, and that's where you try and nullify, you try and stay in the game for long periods. That you're just going to put the pressure on Arsenal, but credit where credit's due. They have come out the traps, and Havertz up there, lots of movement, and that's where the goal came from. I just wonder whether Leeds might just change in the way they've set up.
Parker didn't look too happy there, did he, as we got a shot of him stood in his technical area, sent long by Darlow. Calvert-Lewin touches it off, but it's picked up by Declan Rice. Doesn't feel as if Calvert-Lewin's got into the game too much so far.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to, because they've got back into a real solid defensive unit, haven't they? And that's all the midfielders getting forward, and obviously Arsenal having the quality and the possession, more of the possession stats, might I add, is that when they've won the ball back, Leeds, there's only one player that they can really pick out, and that's Calvert-Lewin, which they haven't really been able to get him in the game. Whether that changes.
Copier launches it down the line. Nicolas just plays it off Joe Rodon. Inching a few yards, isn't he? And Capier working his way down the touchline. Leeds throw, much to the anger of Mikel Arteta, who's offering plenty of words right now to the 4th official, Gavin Ward. He said it was time to turn the temperature down. Mikel Arteta, his Arsenal side, find themselves in a good position here. Since their team are chasing a dream. In the next 4 months they will approach, live and play with enjoyment and a lot of courage and the conviction that they can go on and finally end the wait for a Premier League title.
Yeah, I believe they can. I really do. I think everyone does have that fear factor. I think most Arsenal fans that you speak to, they feel that the same thing's going to happen again. I don't think so this season. I really don't. I think they've got too much quality, too much strength in depth. Yes, there's always going to be a noise and a pressure around this Arsenal side because of that reason.
There's Aronson for Leeds. Looking to turn away from Timber, forced to go back to Gruev. The problem for Arsenal, isn't it? It's the recent pain. They've seen it happen over the last 3 seasons. They've been close, they've led for so long in those 3 seasons, but they just found themselves overpowered down the final straight.
Yeah, but they're so well equipped. And that's where your big players step up. That's where it's down to certain calls from the manager. There might be a change in personnel, which they have done today in that midfield area, obviously forced in the wide area. And Saka getting injured, but it does show what they have, and what they can bring in of quality.
A bit tight over on the far side, and maybe an Arsenal throw. It's beaten to it by Rodon. Acrobatically sent down the line by Goodmanson.
Leeds just haven't found the rhythm yet, have they, or any kind of flow where they've had good passage of keeping the football. And that's where they need to find a way. They need someone, Ampadu in that midfield, who's the base, the pivot, can get on, control the game a little bit.
He took his time there, Stuart Atwell, but he does award Arsenal a free kick for the challenge on Havertz. A free kick which they just tried to take from the incorrect position. You look at Leeds so far this afternoon, and you can only really think of that effort from Ethan Ampadu. They haven't given Arsenal too much to be concerned about so far.
Oh no, it's alarming when you do feel that this Arsenal side can punish you very quickly. You have to find something of a threat.
Timber looking to cross it, goes behind, another Arsenal corner.
I must say, you know, from the start of the first half, I just feel that Arsenal have looked, I think, more than confident, you know, so the talk of them not being confident, I think seeing and coming to Ellen Road, which could easily and can possibly be a banana skin, I think they've looked really, really in control of the game.
Very assured so far, haven't they, as we see the movement in the box once again from back to front. The delivery is deep, Gyökeres heads it back across goal. There was no one there to get a final touch to it.
I'll tell you what, it's a brilliant, well-worked corner, it's a deep one. Gyökeres, just have a look at Kai Havertz. He's drifting on that back post. Can he force his way into the area where, yes, it's congested? I mean, it's a clever little head back from Gyökeres. Should possibly have been, if not a second goal.
First Premier League start in almost a year for Kai Havertz. Gabriel almost opened the door there. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who catches the Arsenal defender in his attempts to get to the ball.
He just catches the top of the foot. He's a bit of talking to. Definitely catches Gabriel as he plays that ball. It's just his work ethic. It was played. It did look quite late. See here, straight down the front of the ankle, all the way down the front of the foot. That's where Gabriel felt the full force of the challenge from Calvert-Lewin.
Still hasn't got back up yet, Gabriel. As we said, feeling the effects of that challenge. 10 minutes to go until half-time. You get the feeling there'll be a fair few minutes added on at the end of this first half, though. Just unable to bring it under control. Arsenal have won their last 6 Premier League games against Leeds. It's the best run in their history in the league over Leeds, and a positive start here this afternoon to stretch that run to 7. Found a way to help it onto Gruev. A bit scrappy over on the far side.
I'm not sure why Gruev tried to give the ball back to Goodmanson. He was still on his knees almost.
Okay, looking to turn away, apologies. Timber turning away, and the yellow card is going to come out for the first time this afternoon from the referee, Stuart Atwell. Goodmanson sees his name taken.
Yeah, you can understand why. Clearly Timber's getting away from him. Absolutely takes him clean out. I think from an Arsenal perspective now is that the fans will want to see him go and get a second and have a bit more of that comfortable edge, and go on and get a third if you like.
Have looked very in control here so far this afternoon. Here's Timber. Madueke. Arsenal with 6 inside the box. Madueke looks to just clip one up. Again, it's deflected behind for an Arsenal corner.
A lot of balls gone down that right-hand side, hasn't it, with Madueke. Timber likes to venture forward also.
6th corner of the first half for Arsenal. Can they find a second goal here? Very much on top right now. In comes the corner. Darlow tries to punch it away, but it's found its way in. Kai Havertz wheels away, and Arsenal strike from a corner once again. So many bodies in and around that front post. It looked an unfortunate moment, a moment to forget for Karl Darlow. Arsenal won't care, they lead by 2-0.
No, but the delivery's brilliant from Madueke. It's got to be dealt with. I mean, there's not one Arsenal player near Darlow, near Calvert-Lewin, and that's where it's absolutely all over the place. Darlow tries to punch it. I think Calvert-Lewin's not in the way. He could easily catch it. That just shows that there's no Arsenal player near him, and that's all confusion. And what a second goal that is to concede. I mean, that is the comfortable edge that Arsenal will like. Great delivery from Madueke, yet again, into the side, and produces.
A regrettable moment for Daniel Farke and for Leeds United. Arsenal have been in charge here this afternoon, and they have found that second goal. It looks an awful long way back now for Leeds United.
Yeah, it does. Will that go down as a Darlow own goal? I think it will do. He'll be disappointed. The delivery's brilliant. It's on the money, but it's the confusion from Calvert-Lewin that causes even more of a problem. Otherwise, the goalkeeper either catches it or punches it away quite easy.
Such a fear factor, isn't it, dealing with Arsenal from those set-piece situations. Darlow into the team for the last 3 games in place of Lucas Perry. Leeds trying to rouse their side here and find a way to strike before half-time. It's out by Trossard.
Arsenal have been excellent, they really have, on the front foot. Just seem like they could probably go another gear as well. That's the fearful thing for Leeds. They just haven't got a foothold in the game at all whatsoever.
Just the kind of response, the kind of performance so far this afternoon that Mikel Arteta and all Arsenal fans would have been looking for. It has been confirmed that the Arsenal second was an own goal from Karl Darlow. Not too many teams come here to Ellen Road and look as assured and as in control as Arsenal have done here this afternoon. Mendy finds a way to work it to Rice, who sweeps it out to Nkapie. Now Trossard. Just pushed on to find Aronson by Bogle. Into Ampadu. Gruev. Leeds having to be patient in possession as it's worked out to find Aronson. On Stack. Pistol's come in, it slams off Declan Rice, not once but twice. Now Ampadu. Low ball comes in and there was nobody there for Leeds. They've got plenty of players ahead of the ball.
Yeah, I don't think it was a penalty. I know there was big shouts. The ball that was played across the box. Declan Rice getting in front. Just come off the top of his leg, didn't it? Arms are way away from his body. Ball here, big screams, nowhere near.
Hopeful appeals from a Leeds contingent who are desperate to just see their side get back into this game. Leandro Trossard down for Arsenal right now.
Yeah, well, that's what you want to see from Leeds, don't you? That's what they're good at. When they get bodies high up the pitch and utilise full-backs, wing-backs, and then delivery into the box. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin's had nothing to go at.
A moment to forget. Just a few moments ago for Carl Garlow, it was just a complete mess, wasn't it, Lee, at the front post?
Yeah, I mean, it's whipped in on the money, isn't it? But as I said, you know, there's not an Arsenal player anywhere near that front post. The ball that's whipped in with pace, and then Lewin's just the one that causes the problem, if anything, for Carl Darlow. And that's where it all goes horribly wrong.
Well, they like an own goal, Arsenal, don't they? They've been getting plenty of them go their way in recent games. And another one here this afternoon. Now looking for a third as Madueke's just pulled back. Thought he was on the move and on his way to try and create an Arsenal third. Ball sent forward, seeking Madueke. Perez and Havertz arriving in the box. It comes in now towards Havertz, and Ampadu makes the challenge. The ball behind once again.
By the way, what a ball that was from Gabriel. He drives that into that right-hand side where Madueke is in acres of space. He knows that anything just in front of him, he can run onto it. Not a bad cut back. Credit to Ampadu, he does well defensively. Otherwise, Havertz might have had a clear attempt at goal.
Vital intervention from Ethan Ampadu, but it sets up the same problem we've seen all through the first half here for Leeds. They have another Arsenal corner to defend. Havertz right on Carl at the moment. Again, the group goes to the front post. It's flicked away by James Justin. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. Trossard sends it in. Leeds cannot afford for this situation to get any worse before half-time. Flicked out to Madueke by Declan Rice. Now Trossard. Rice with room on the edge of the box. He's going to send one towards the back post. Gabriel heads it down. Can Leeds get this ball cleared away? They can. It's just launched long by Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
It's outstanding play from Arsenal. They really leads to the sword here. They'll just want to get in at that half-time whistle and recoup Leeds, because I just don't see a way out of this at all.
See there just how little goalmouth action there actually has been here this afternoon. Leeds haven't had an attempt on target as we approach half-time. Landing that for Pascal Strout.
It's an awkward one on the back. It's to ponder. Daniel Farker, I think there'll be changes made. You do.
Side in need of a spark. Mikel Arteta's side, certainly not. They've looked like potential league champions here so far this afternoon.
They have, and credit to them. Credit to Mikel Arteta. They have been by far streets ahead.
Many Manchester City fans, Aston Villa fans would have identified this test here this afternoon as one in which Arsenal could slip up, given the form that Leeds have been in. Gyökeres, can Arsenal create another chance before half-time? Mendy helps it on. There is the half-time whistle. Arsenal have been excellent here so far this afternoon. The pressure was building, and then the opening goal came. And it came from Martin Zubimendi as he headed beyond Karl Darlow. The situation got even better for Arsenal. Karl Darlow was unable to deal with a corner in towards his front post. An own goal from the Leeds United goalkeeper. Half-time score here, Leeds United 0, Arsenal 2.
at Ellen Road as Leeds are preparing to make a handful of changes. Okafor and Longstaff look to be the two that are readying themselves on the near side, and it's just going to be those two that do make their way on, and I'll get you confirmation about who will be coming off for Leeds United. But Okafor, the 25-year-old Swiss, the pacey forward transition weapon for Leeds, comes on alongside the proven Premier League midfielder, the 28-year-old Englishman Sean Longstaff. Moments away then from the second half here at Ellen Road. Can Leeds pull a turnaround? Will Arsenal continue in the same vein? Excuse me. They ended the second, or they had the second half of the first half, but we are back underway, and Leeds get us underway here at Ellen Road. They're going from right to left in the all-white strip. I'll run you through the teams in a moment. And Arsenal, you will have surmised, will be going from left to right in their blue shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. It's Leeds on the attack early down the left-hand side with Goodmanson just trying to break the line and give a point to the box in towards Calvert-Lewin, but good defensive work as it goes out on the near side, and it's going to be a corner kick to Leeds 30 seconds into the second half. Excellent from Leeds coming out of the blocks there. Kept hold of the ball back from Darlow, played it down the left-hand side. And it was a wonderful ball in by Goodmanson, just looking for the run of Calvert-Lewin as the corner comes in towards the near post. It's cleared out though comfortably from Gyökeres. Picked up by Goodmanson again. Back towards the corner taker on this near side. It's in by Longstaff. Blocked though at the near side of the box, and it's back towards Bogle and Darlow in the goal. Down to our right-hand side. So Leeds made two changes at half-time with James Justin and Gruev, the two players to make their way off at half-time. And they've replaced by Longstaff and Okafor. An attacking intent from Leeds. He's hit or bust for them, really, in the second half. Their seasons are not going to be defined, really, by what happens in these games, but it can certainly have a positive impact if they can pick up a win as well. Bogle will move back into the right back role for Leeds. Longstaff moving into the centre of the pitch, and Okafor going, contributing to the attack. Excuse me, got a tickle in the throat for the home side. So Leeds, Darlow in goal. Then got the back three, Bogle, Rodon, Struijk in midfield 5, which will consist of Longstaff, Okafor, Ampadu, Stack and Goodmanson, and Calvert-Lewin and Aronson, the two up front. For Arsenal, same team that ended the first half, starts the second with Raya in goal. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Hincapié are the four at the back. Havertz, Zubimendi and Rice, the three in midfield, and Madueke, 2 assists to his name. Or it's not an assist, actually, it's an own goal. It's an assist if you've got fantasy football implications on him for the second goal. He's up front with Gyökeres and Trossard. Gyökeres hasn't really got himself into this game, similar as he's not really got himself into this season, relying on wide players to contribute more. 3 minutes gone inside the second half. Leeds 0, Arsenal 2 as it stands. If Leeds can pull something out in this second half, you'd feel it would be a miracle, but they have pulled back games from losing positions before as they go down the right-hand side. They're going to win another corner kick. It's a cross from the right, this time from Bogle. Just look to get it into the box. It comes off an Arsenal player, and Leeds start in the second half far better than they started the first half. And they're looking on the charge in the opening exchanges of this second half here at Ellen Road. As the sun starts to go down, can Leeds start to light up their afternoon? It's Stack who will take it from the far side, out swinging with 6 in the box. One's on the penalty spot, and that's a good header down, but it's straight at David Raya. It was Struijk, the man who's dominant in the air, especially from corners for Leeds, just peeled off his man, which was Declan Rice. got himself in front, just tried to knock it down, looking towards the right-hand side of Raya's goal. But it was a bit of a soft one for the goalkeeper, and comfortable for him to get down and get hold of the ball. It's their first attempt on target of the afternoon. 50 minutes into the game. It was Rice who he peeled off from. Rice in his 300th appearance in the Premier League this afternoon. 204 for West Ham, 95 or 96 it'll be now for Arsenal. Aged just 27 and 17 days. He is the 5th youngest to reach the milestone after Wayne Rooney, who was 26 years and 58 days. James Milner, Gareth Barry and Raheem Sterling, who has just left or agreed for his contract to be ended at Chelsea. Don't think there's too much that could ever be said to me to not sit on £300,000 a week training on my own. There's a lovely ball in towards Gyökeres, found himself behind the back line, top chance for him. Oh, he's been blocked and it's out for corner on the near side. Good defensive work from Rodon, who got himself back behind Gyökeres. It looked like he was just running through mud. It was a great ball from the far side from Trossard around the back. Gyökeres had 4 or 5 yards on Rodon, but Rodon managed to get himself back and get an excellent block in to deny Gyökeres a chance to test Darlow in the goal. But he really should have done better, the big striker. He's out of form this season. He's a little bit out of luck as well. Superb for Portugal. Well, being superb in Portugal does not necessarily mean you're going to be good in the Premier League. But it's a corner kick from Arsenal. Madueke stands over it. A lot of trouble have come from these corners in the first half. Can he do another one in the second half? It's almost been put in again from an Arsenal perspective. It was a wonderful ball in once again from Madueke, this time towards the near post. The runners came in. Declan Rice was one of them. He dummied out of the way really more than anything, as it just came off timber 2 or 3 yards out, got underneath the ball, couldn't keep it down, but a real chance for Arsenal to add a third, and Madueke's balls in from the corners on this near side are causing a world of trouble for the Leeds defence. Arsenal just crowd inside that 6-yard box. Any other team, you say a goalkeeper will come out and claim them, but every single time they just bully their way to the ball without committing any fouls as well, which is especially, I'll get the word right, especially unusual. Next one, ball towards Timber on this near side. He's going to drive in towards the Leeds half space in front of him with Stack trying to chase him down. Plays towards Madueke on the right hand side, drives in towards the area, pulls it back on towards his left, just oversteps it a little bit and allows Stack to get back and do the defensive duties. But excellent work from Madueke as well to reciprocate the defensive duties, putting a block in on this near side, just gets his foot into it. And out for a throw-in level with the edge of the 6-yard box from a Leeds perspective. And Arteta trying to get his Arsenal players deep into Leeds territory, apply the pressure high up the field for the league leaders. And Arteta knows what this season will likely mean for him. His legacy as Havertz goes down to the near side. The linesman right in front of it disagrees with him, though. He's back to his feet now as Timber tries to get hold of the ball. Flicked behind his back in towards Madueke, goes down under a challenge, and then it just comes out of play on this near side for a throw-in to Leeds United, and they'll be able to have a reprieve and just slow the game down as Arsenal are frantically trying to get hold of the ball deep in to Leeds territory. And we said it moments ago around Arteta and what this season does mean. Arsenal do give their managers time, plenty of patience at the club. Any other club would surely have pulled the trigger before this season on their manager. 7 seasons he's been at the club, 1 FA Cup win, 2 Community Shields, and over £1 billion spent. He's certainly not classed as a great Premier League manager at this stage. He seems to be an excellent man manager, excellent tactician, but that hasn't equated to trophies in the cabinet. And therefore, personally, I don't think you can keep him in there. You can put him in there. If he starts winning trophies this season, wins the Premier League, he could well win the Champions League as well. Then the questions will certainly, the plaudits, will certainly start to go his way. It's no doubt, though, Arsenal fans absolutely love him, though. Despite that, the 7 years prior were more successful than the 7 years he's been at the club. And if Arsenal were to somehow bottle the Premier League this season, and that's what it will surely be with the amount of time they've sat at the top of the pile since they took over from Liverpool, then surely they may have to look at other options. But that is the ifs, buts and the coconuts, because right now it's Arsenal who are leading the way in the Premier League, and they don't look like they're going to abate anytime soon. Good ball into his box from Goodmanson, just overrun past Calvert-Lewin though towards Bogle, tries to just loft it towards the far side, in towards Raya, he just gets back on his goal line just to stop that one from just going over the top of his head. Bogle, I don't think, was aiming to try and loft it over the top of the goalkeeper, but David Raya just had to get back towards his goal line and just get hold of it, as Arsenal will come away with the ball once again, dominating in this game like they're dominating the league as it stands. 7 points as it stands. They lead in the Premier League. In the Premier League, in the other games, I was saying the other game, Bournemouth are leading against Wolverhampton Wanderers, still by a goal to nil thanks to the El Kroupi goal. Wolves had a goal disallowed for offside earlier in the game. Brighton Everton also 0-0. There's a bit of a tussle on this near side between Havertz and Goodmanson. Both just land on top of each other, but the referee, Stuart Atwell, as he has done throughout this game, and fair play to him, has allowed play to continue. It's in the centre circle for the home side. Stack just sends it forward, looking towards Ampadu. Follows it forward towards this near touchline towards Goodmanson. Closed down quickly though by Madueke and has to bring it back towards Longstaff. The substitute sends it towards Struijk. Chance for him in this second half with the header earlier on. Just couldn't quite get the pace on it. A pass from Longstaff in towards the middle has been picked off though, and it's easy for Madueke to come away with the ball. Just skips past the Leeds man, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. And Madueke has got so much confidence in this game now. An assist and a forced goal. We'll call it 2 assists to his name in this game, and he's really shown the confidence. He just got there ahead of the Leeds man and forced the foul. No card been shown though to the Leeds player, who have a tough run coming up. The Leeds, it only feels like they've only just come out of a tough run, but that is the Premier League in the 25-26 season. We've got Arsenal, then Chelsea, Aston Villa and Man City in 4 of the next 5 league games. You couldn't ask really for 4 tougher fixtures. Gyökeres on this near side, trying to get himself a little bit more involved. Drives in towards the middle, but 4 Leeds players quickly gather round him. 12 minutes gone inside this second half. Push back towards Madueke down the right-hand channel. Flicked in towards the middle. A nice, lovely turn by Zubimendi. Tries to pass it towards the far side, towards Trossard, but it's easily defended by Leeds United, and away they'll come with the ball once again. But it's a decision, really, that from Zubimendi, and whether he should have gone for goal. It was a superb turn inside the box. I thought he was just going to take a strike at it. And now Leeds progressing up the pitch, this time down the left-hand side with Goodmanson. A lot of the balls in towards the box from Leeds have come from their left-back. Timber trying to get in front of him, played it through the legs of Timber, and he's going to win a free kick. Goodmanson, excellent work from the Leeds player, and Timber's going to go into the referee's book, and he's not best pleased with that decision from Stuart Atwell's Julian Timber. And you can sort of see why. Goodmanson got down the left-hand side, played it through the legs of Timber. It was going out for a goal kick, no doubt about it, but Timber just left his right arm in there, and Goodmanson went straight in towards it, and the free kick goes Leeds' way. An excellent opportunity for the home side to put the ball in a dangerous position here. 5 yards off the left-hand side of the box. The Leeds fans trying to get more behind their side now as this game starts to grow. They're not out of it just yet. There's 30 minutes to go. If they can get a goal now, they can certainly ask the questions. Calvert-Lewin is one of those that's in the box. It's going to be Stack that stands over it. Can Calvert-Lewin bag himself another goal this season. He aims to try and get himself into Thomas Tuchel's World Cup squad. It's Stack that stands over it. Leeds trying to gather around the 6-yard box. Arsenal trying to push them closer towards the penalty spot. Ball from this near side goes in, headed back out though towards the penalty spot where Aronson is waiting. It's bounced right in front of him. Not quite cleared yet, but it is on the second attempt from an Arsenal perspective out towards the halfway line. A good work defensively from the away side, but the home fans like the challenge that they're putting in, and that will signal that reinforcements will be needed from the Gunners. The Leeds fans, they're on their feet. They're trying to get behind their team. They know they're having an excellent season, and that will yield Martinelli, who apologised recently for the incident in the Liverpool game, and Odegaard, who will come on, the de facto captain for Arsenal. And Martinelli is going to make his way on for Madueke. 60 minutes into the game, just over, so you fancy implication he's taking his time to get off. 10 seconds after the 60 mark, you'll get your extra points for his 2 assists in this game. He makes his way off for Martinelli, and Havertz, who's back in the side in the week. Arteta was a little bit reluctant to say of whether he would start in this game as well. He wanted to manage his time more. Well, he's managed it very nicely with 60 minutes here today as he makes his way off for the 27-year-old Norwegian Martin Odegaard, the chief creator and technical leader of the side, makes his way onto the pitch as Leeds have a throw deep inside their own half. Back towards Darlow it goes, sent towards the halfway line once again. It's played forward, a bit of ping-pong in the middle. It's picked up by Okafor. Space on this near side for Goodman. Somebody's quickly harassed and harangued by the fresh legs of Martinelli, but comes away nicely with it, and now Longstaff will stride forward. Timber towards his left-hand side, just holding off Okafor a little bit too much, that the pass went to Okafor, but he's got to come back inside his own half towards Struijk, who continues it all the way back towards Darlow, who's 10-15 yards outside of his box now with the ball. Goodmanson on this near side goes back towards Darlow, who has to retreat in towards his box to claim that one though, just to avoid any sort of issues there. But Leeds trying to build some momentum, build some pressure in this second half. If they can find something, you never know what else might come out of the locker. But it's still Arsenal that lead this game by 2-0. Madueke, 2 assists to his name, the first putting on a button for Zubimendi to see it past Darlow, and then a few minutes later another wonderful ball, and this time direct from the corner, causing trouble in the box. Darlow and Calvert-Lewin getting each other's way, and Darlow just punched it into his own goal for 2-0. It's on the far side though for Aronson, trying to create something again. Is the American brought back towards Bogle. Time for Leeds to get hold of the ball with Struijk inside the centre circle, tries to go towards the left hand side. Arsenal though quickly on top of every Leeds player. Okafor just moves it onto his right hand side, brings it back though in towards Ampadu in the centre circle again, this time towards the edge of the area. Nice flick around the corner by Calvert-Lewin, trying to get Omar Bogle, trying to get Jayden Bogle, into play. Omar Bogle, already old school player back in the noughties in the lower league of English football. Not sure where that one's come from. But on the far right hand side, Leeds have the ball again, crossed in towards the box. Gabriel with their header out. It's high, but it's not very far. Drop down towards Bogle, trying to turn, can't get it out of his feet, and Arsenal just about get the ball away towards the far side, and they'll have the throw in as well. Will the away side? It was just fell kindly inside the box. Leeds and Bogle just couldn't get it out to try and get a strike away. And Arsenal slowing the game down now on the far side, not taking any chances. They've got that 2-goal cushion. As the old saying goes, though, it's the most dangerous scoreline in football is 2-0. The next goal will dictate how this game could potentially go. I guess you could say that about any goal that goes in football, that the next goal is always going to dictate how it's going to go. Arsenal, Chelsea next in that EFL Cup semi-final in the week. They won the first leg 3-2, leading 3-1. Chelsea did pull one back. They then got Sunderland at home before they travel away to Brentford. But right now they've still got a contest with Leeds United. And another long throw from the far side with Bogle. Winds it up again. Players gathered around the corner of the box. Laid down almost on a plate by Struijk to his teammate, but it's cleared in the end by Arsenal. And it's a slow burner back towards Darlow. 10 yards inside his own half. Lofts it towards the far side, and Calvert-Lewin will flick it on nicely down the right-hand channel towards Aronson. He's got Gabriel with him for company. Trossard back to provide a bit of support. The ball then floated in towards the areas, dealt with again by Arsenal, who are really comfortable when these balls go into the box. But Martinelli has been forced out on his own goal line. It's going to be a corner kick to Leeds United. Excellent work from Goodmanson. Just apply the pressure on Martinelli. It looked like he was just stumbling on top of the ball. He kept applying it right behind him, not giving the foul away. Martinelli thought he'd push it out for a throw-in on this near side, but it's gone out for a corner kick. So the referee has given the fourth for Leeds of the afternoon, playing it towards the box. Again, it's dealt with really well by Arsenal. It's Declan Rice on this occasion. Pushed it towards, knocked it out towards this near side, and Leeds will pick the ball up inside their own half with Omar Bogle. Sorry, with Jayden Bogle. I don't know why I've got Omar Bogle now stuck in my head. But it's Bogle who had the ball, and it's sent forward towards the right-hand side and out for a throw-in over on the far side. But with 24 minutes to go, Leeds are trying to get themselves into the ascendancy a little bit more in this game. But it's hard to do so against the league leaders. Have had 80% possession Leeds over the last 10 minutes. They've been the better side in this second half, but this is exactly what Arsenal will want to do with the ball. They're quite happy being out of possession for spells of this game. It's Martinelli down the right-hand side. His cross is blocked, though, by Goodmanson, who's been excellent for Leeds on this left-hand side. Trying to get the ball off him, but instead gives away the free kick, in a good position for Arsenal. Martinelli just got the better of him. Goodmanson climbed on his back. If he got any closer, they would have been sharing a shirt. And Martinelli was facing the wrong way. Somehow wriggled free, turned back towards the goal line, and then went to the deck and won a free kick, as Odegaard, now wearing the armband, will take this free kick a yard or so off the near side touchline, level with the edge of the Leeds penalty area, leading by 2-0. A third now would surely put this game to bed for a side like Arsenal. It's Odegaard from the near side. The runners go in. Odegaard takes his time, draws it in low and hard towards the near post, but Leeds just about deal with it, out for a throw-in on the near side. It was a new set-piece work there by Odegaard. The runners came in. He almost feigned waiting a little bit, almost like he got the decision wrong. Tried to then play it low and hard in towards the near post, looking for the runners. And Leeds just about, and Goodmanson read it well. But it's Arsenal on the ball once again with Saliba. Back to the halfway line, and his centre-half partner of Gabriel. Sends it towards the far side, towards Hincapi. The overlap comes in with Declan Rice. Decides to go towards the edge of the box instead, but Leeds and Rodon get the ball out in towards the centre of the park, but Arsenal will pick up that loose ball, and they'll now get themselves into the driving seat of this game. And when Leeds go up the other end, they are trying to look threatening, but Arsenal have dealt with it really well. But every time Arsenal go forward, they look like they're going to threaten the Leeds goal. Was Struijk's gone in for a slide tackle. He's missed the ball completely. Martinelli's picked up, put it onto his left, sending it towards the area, and it's a third! And there is a goal for Victor Gyökeres. His celebration comes out for the third time this season against Leeds United. And that will be, you would think, game, set and match with 21 minutes to play. And it was made by the substitute, Martinelli. on the near side. It was said that every time Arsenal come forward, they look like they're threatening the Leeds goal, and it was sent down the right-hand side to Martinelli. Turned it back onto his right as Sturridge came across, slid in, completely missed the ball and the player, allowed Martinelli to get to his feet, put it back onto his left, level the edge of the penalty spot, put a ball in towards the 6-yard box, and Gyökeres got himself in front of Jayden Bogle and just tucks it home. He was straight at Darlow. Darlow probably could have done better, but I think because it was a couple of yards out, all he could do was get a hand to it, and he couldn't keep it out. Gyökeres off his shin, gets his 6th of the season and restores his name at the top of the scoring charts for Arsenal this season. His 6th of the season for Arsenal, his 3rd against Leeds. And Arsenal lead here at Ellen Road by 3-0. Aronson makes his way off on the near side for Leeds United as they make another change to their side, and it was Buon not the man who comes on, the 22-year-old Argentinian. He can always be a creative spark, the Argentinian. Makes his way on for the American. He'll try and provide some support up front to Calvert-Lewin. But what would Daniel Tharp be thinking now? Is there a way back in this for Leeds? They've had an excellent spell in this second half, particularly of the possession, but possession doesn't always yield goals, and on this occasion it's Arsenal who are controlling the game now really comfortably. Gyökeres with his 6th of the season. Arsenal 10's very different. So Arsenal benefited more from own goals as they're coming away with the ball once again towards the edge of the area with Trossard. Turns it onto his left, goes for a strike, blocked through, looking for Timber, just gets there. Darlow just gets there ahead of him. Good work from the keeper this time just to command his 6-yard box and get there ahead of the right back. But we had an own goal in the first half, which Arsenal have benefited more from than any other side in the Premier League this season. Now with 5, only twice have the Gunners benefited more in a single campaign. They had 5 in the 23-24 season, which they've now matched, and 6 in the 09-10 season. And for part of this game, own goals was joint top scorer until that Gyökeres goal. And Arsenal again down the left-hand side with Trossard, onto his left, but blocked by Bogle, and it's out for a throwing deep inside. Leeds touch over on the far side, and it's actually gone Leeds' way. Excellent work from Bogle just to give Trossard a little bit of a shove into the ball. And good work from the right back to give Leeds a reprieve, but it's not going to be their day here at Ellen Road for the home side. Their excellent run at home, the 5 games unbeaten, is going to come to an end. Arsenal, who were winless in their last 3 Premier League games, drawing 2, losing 1, which was a 3-2 game against Man United last time out. And the Gunners haven't lost consecutive league games since December 2023, and they're certainly not going to do that again this afternoon. And Gyökeres on the score sheet once again for the Gunners against Leeds. He scored 2 the last time they met earlier in the season back in August, where 10 different players for Arsenal have scored 2 or more goals in a Premier League match against Leeds, with Jorian Timber and Gyökeres netting their brace in that August 5-0 win. Only Everton with 11 and Southampton 12 of the Gunners had more different players net at least twice in a match. Darlow will send it forward, trying to look for Calvert-Lewin. Been really hounded out of this game, not been able to get a foothold at all inside Arsenal territory. Most of Leeds' threats have come from Goodmanson on the left-hand side. He's been excellent at the back as well, but the one time he's out of position is the time that Arsenal in the second half capitalise, as there's been a goal in the game between Brighton and Everton with just 15 minutes to play. And it's Pascal Gross with the goal for Brighton. They lead at home by a goal to nil. 15 minutes to go in that game. Everton having an excellent season despite being a goal down, sitting in 8th place as it stands, just 4 points off Champions League places. Do they have a chance of getting in there? Today with every team above them, bar Arsenal having a game in hand. Substitute for the Gunners being made as well late on. I don't quite see who has made their way off, so do bear with us for a moment or so. It was Calafiori, the man who has come on for the Gunners, and it's going to be Hincapi, the man to come off on this near side, and Gabriel Jesus will also make his way on, and Gyökeres will come off. He's getting a standing ovation from the Arsenal fans towards the right hand side as we look. He's back on the scoreboard, is the Arsenal number 14. An excellent season last time around from the Swede from Sporting, and 50% of his goals this season have come against Leeds United. He comes off for Gabriel Jesus, back from long injury recently. Jesus, he's had a few of those during his time at Arsenal. When he does play, he can be a stunning player and a stunning attacking player to watch. And for Leeds' sake, they're looking at their transfer windows, what they're going to do. But one of their young players, Harry Gray, out on loan at Rotherham United. He scored the other day to get himself off the mark, and he actually became Rotherham United's youngest ever goal scorer. It's into the box with Rice, sent across. Oh, it's just wide of the far post from Jesus, and time stood still at Ellen Road. It was out of absolutely nowhere, just floated towards the edge of the box was Declan Rice. Nobody closed him down. His ball then in towards the box was really poor in towards Bogle. Bogle couldn't clear, then sat down nicely towards Gabriel Jesus, who just couldn't quite direct it into the far corner of Darlow's goal. And that would have been the icing on the cake for Arsenal today. They were superb in the first half. They started slow. They certainly got going. The second half, they started even slower, and then they're starting to motor once again. But Harry Gray, as we mentioned, one of Leeds' wonderful young players, part of that Gray family. Archie Gray was one of the other talented players that moved to Tottenham. Became Rotherham United's youngest scorer, just age 17. The youngest scorer for the club since 1976. Down in Rotherham to give them a 3-0 lead and move them out of the relegation zone. He could single-handedly carry a side to safety this season at just 17 years of age. But it's Leeds United themselves down by 3-0. This time with Calafiori. Arsenal trying to make sure of it in this game. I'm pretty sure this game is, you'd feel, done and dusted with 12 minutes to go. In the other games, it's still 1-0 to Brighton and 1-0 to Bournemouth away at Wolves. It's with Saliba. Push to the right-hand side towards Timber. In towards the box. A good header in. Oh, what a save from Darlow. Point blank on Jesus. Right at him again this time. Darlow manages to push it over the top of the bar. But another good cross in from Timber on this near right-hand side. On a button. 6 yards out. Centre of the goal. And you would have thought that Jesus would have scored it anywhere else at the goal. And that finds the back of the net. And we started this day in plenty of sun, and we're ending it in an absolute downpour of rain. And that's just how Leeds will feel this afternoon. Their day's gone from bad to worse as time's gone on. And now the fans are getting wet in the stands. Another corner kick from the near side to Arsenal. Excellent save that from Darlow. Credit to him there. Played in. It's played back out though from Longstaff. And it's going to be another corner kick. This time from the far side. As Arsenal try and apply the pressure. 10 minutes to go in this game. Still looking to add more misery and compound it onto Leeds United. Ten minutes to play in this game. Arsenal stick with the set-piece routine that's worked time and time again over the last 2 years or so. Played it towards the box, it's Calafiori, but he can't keep his header down. Did really well to get away from his man, but it almost came off his bonds. And his head must be made of concrete or steel, because he leaned back and that went sky high over the top of the crossbar. High, wide and not very handsome as Leeds make a substitute. A favourite here. Gnonto makes his way on for the home side, as Arsenal will also make another substitution as well, with Trossard making his way off for Eze, who's also not quite found his feet for Arsenal this season. Not quite getting the game time that he necessarily would have hoped for, but he's sitting at the top of the table and can contribute to that as he comes on to an absolute downpour. The players that making their way off will certainly be the happier players, particularly from an Arsenal perspective, as Jesus tries to take a quick throw in from the near side. I'll double check who the fourth player to come off for Leeds was. Gnonto makes his way on. The explosive winger, the 22-year-old Italian. Really good player for Leeds, as the crowd here at Ellen Road try and scramble their way back high into the stands to avoid getting absolutely drenched. Those fans started taking their sweaters off, thinking it was a wonderful sunny day, and they've ended it in absolute misery on the pitch and off the pitch as well. It was Anton Stack that came off for Willy Gnonto, the young Italian coming on to try and add something for Leeds. And ever since Arsenal got that third, they've continued to just dominate this game. Leeds 80% possession during a 10-minute spell of this second half, but they just couldn't turn that into anything substantial in threatening the Arsenal goals. A free kick does go Leeds' way on this near side, as every tackle now sends players flying 30 yards across the pitch. Pirro will make his way on as well. He's just getting himself readied on the touchline for Leeds' fifth and final change. We'll let you know who he comes on for. The 26-year-old Dutchman. He's always been a bit of an impact sub, as the free kick goes all the way through and skips across the very, very wet pitch now at Ellen Road, kindly in towards David Raya. Over towards our left-hand side. And it's Arsenal with a very comfortable 3-0 lead. Brighton still lead Everton 1-0 with 5 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go between Wolves and Bournemouth. Bournemouth still lead by a goal to nil. Can Bournemouth turn this, or can Wolves find something back in? Bournemouth haven't been the same team that they were earlier on in the season, but they would be expected to beat Wolves this campaign. Gnonto gets hold of the ball the first time for him since coming on as a substitute. 6.5 minutes to play. Sent towards the right-hand side by Longstaff. Gets Bogle into trying to whip one in towards the box, but another defensive header. And Leeds pick up the ball once again just inside the Arsenal half. Over towards the right-hand side to Buonate. Longstaff. Bogle again. Arsenal happy to allow Leeds to have the possession here because it will take an absolute miracle for Leeds to come back into this game. It's Buonata again, sends it in towards Bogle. Is there a chance for them to get at least a goal back on the score sheet? Slangstoff with a shot, and it's blocked and out towards the far side, and Calafiori sends it back towards Saliba, who just flicks it up and clears it away. And Leeds will have a throw-in on the halfway line. They'll make the final changes. Calvert-Lewin, difficult afternoon for the Englishman, trying to get himself back into World Cup contention. Just one goal though in the last 7 games for Leeds, top scorer, 9 for his name this season, but he can't add on to it. As Arsenal have done a number on the Leeds United forward, and again he's back with Darlow on the right hand side, sends it towards the left hand side, trying to get the flick on and trying to get Leeds up the pitch a little bit more, but it's not possible for them to do it in Arsenal. Their eyes will now turn to the games tomorrow. 2 huge games for them to keep an eye on. One of them is Aston Villa. They're the early kick-off at 2 o'clock at home to Brentford. And then Man City go away to Tottenham Hotspur. In the final games, it's down inside the box in towards Jesus, and it is 4-0. And Jesus gets himself on the scoreboard, and Arsenal have 4 once again against Leeds United. And it's a beautiful finish from the Brazilian, the substitute who's had injuries time and time again for Arsenal. Picked up the ball on the edge of the area, drove it 2 yards onto his right, and just placed it into the bottom left-hand corner of Darlow's goal. And game, set and match, if it already wasn't, is certainly over now. And Jesus with his goal to give Arsenal their 4th on the scoreboard. Leeds can't stop Arsenal scoring. It's the 9th time Arsenal have scored 4 or more against Leeds. And it's the 3rd time in a row. 13 goals Leeds have conceded against Arsenal in 3 games. It's Leeds 0, Arsenal 4. And whilst Leeds have looked good in spells, Arsenal have run absolute riot on the scoreboard. The Leeds fans, who credit to them, stayed in the stands throughout this game despite being 3-0 down. Well, they're certainly leaving now. There's more goals on the scoreboard than there is time left to go. And Arsenal come away with it. Can they potentially get a 5th again? He's striding forward with Jesus. It's 3-on-1 over on the left-hand side. Martinelli tries slipping in towards Rice. Block goes in, back towards Martinelli, down, and it's saved again by Darlow. Can't keep hold of it. It's going to go for a corner kick. Ampadu just gets in front of it and puts it out for a corner. But it's more attacking. Leeds don't know what to do now every time Arsenal come forward with it. Martinelli strode forward, tried to send Rice through down the middle on his 300th appearance. What a moment that would have been for him. Good tackle came in at the back from Rodon, back out towards Martinelli, who just looked for the bottom corner of Darlow's goal. Got down well, put in the wet conditions, couldn't keep hold of it, and Ampadu puts it out for a corner kick. 2 minutes to play. Arsenal's 11th corner of the afternoon. A slight change in setup. Rice is going to take it this time from the far side. There's only 2 at the far side for Arsenal. Calafiori is one of them. It goes all the way through to the far side. Queen header cleared off the line by Leeds. Gabriel then with the follow-up, and it's straight at Darlow. And it was Jesus at the far post. Another wonderfully taken corner, this time from Rice. Floated to the far side of the box. Jesus unmarked at the back post. Tried to send it to the far side, and it's cleared off the line. I think it could have been Pirot, who on the corner, or on the post, just got his head onto it. And then the follow-up from Gabriel straight at Darlow. But in the end, this game could have been 5 or 6 to Arsenal, despite the fact that at the start of the second half, we were talking about potentially Leeds pulling one back. the weather here. The rain does not stop. Puddles are starting to form on the pitch. The ball's not flowing too well. In the other games, Brighton 90th minute, lead by a goal to nil. Bournemouth have a second though against Wolves, and it's Eli Krupi with his second of the afternoon to give Bournemouth all 3 points on the road against beleaguered Wolverhampton Wanderers. That pushes Bournemouth as it stands into, or keeps them, in 13th place, but on the same amount of points as the 5 teams above them, all on 33. But Leeds with Buonata trying to get themselves forward inside the box. Can't quite find the pass towards Okafor, and out it comes again for Arsenal. 20 seconds to go plus any stoppage time. With the 10th defeat of the season for Leeds United, the second against Arsenal. They've conceded 42 goals this season, Leeds, and 9 of those have come against the league leaders. They don't actually have a bad goal difference if you take out the 2 games they've played against the side looking to be champions for the first time in 22 years. They'll have one eye themselves on the game that's going to kick off in 40 minutes' time with West Ham away at Chelsea, as 90 minutes is up on the clock. The 4th official has indicated 4 minutes for Leeds to bear. Arsenal fans are laying every pass now. They're enjoying this one. They've come to Leeds once again. The last time they came here, they only put the one past Leeds to come away with the win. It'll be the 7th win in a row against the West Yorkshire side for the North London team. Leeds don't seem to know what to do against Arsenal when they come up against them. They remain in 16th place with their eyes on the other sides. 3 minutes to play in stoppage time, so time just starts to whittle down. Arsenal enjoying their afternoon, enjoying their day, still coming forward, looking to add more. Can they go back to back against Leeds with 5 goals, but a long ball straight in towards Darlow. The Whites, their shirts are turning brown from the mud coming off the pitch. The pitch turning a shade of light blue from the amount of standing water that's just sitting on top. The stands also light blue as well, with the amount of empty seats that are now being occupied by the Leeds fans. Credit to those that have stayed. And I don't particularly think that Leeds have put in a bad performance either. The scoreline, I don't think it flatters Arsenal, but I don't think it really does Leeds a service for how they played. The first 20 minutes to get Arsenal at bay. Arsenal then came into their stride as Jesus almost gets ahead of his man, and it's going to be corner kick again. Struck just has to get there ahead of Jesus. Rodon came out, slipped on the pitch. Jesus kept his footing, tried to get there ahead of Strike, and Strike just tucked it out for a corner kick. But Leeds, they haven't been bad at all. The second half, they were the better side for 25 minutes of the second half. They had 80% possession for a 10-minute spell from the 55th to the 65th minute, and they even had about a 75% in the 10 minutes before that to start the second half. But Arsenal did what Arsenal do. They defend valiantly, they look comfortable doing it at the same time, and then clinical up at the other end. Odegaard stands over the corner kick on this near side with 90 seconds of stoppage time to go. Sent towards the middle, headed back in, and it's over the top of the crossbar. And it's Gabriel who's trying to get onto the scoreboard as well. He's got his clean sheet as it looks at one, and his Calafiori and Strike and Bogle just come together on the corner. A little bit of tugging off the ball from Bogle on Calafiori. Arsenal, their next fixture, big one for them against Chelsea in the Cup. Leeds, big for them as well. Nottingham Forest at home in the next Premier League game for the West Yorkshire outfit as well. But it's been a stunning afternoon from an Arsenal perspective. Disappointing on the scoreboard from a Leeds perspective, but Daniel Farke can certainly take some positives out of this game. They've been excellent over the last 10 games, just 1 defeat in 10. That'll now be 2, and they're only undone by 2 late goals against Newcastle. They can take the positives out of this, turn it into some confidence, and return to winning ways against Nottingham Forest if they have the right mindset. But it's going to be a tough one to swallow. Arsenal, not an easy side to come up against this season. But Leeds, not been able to show the form that they have over the last couple of games. And Arsenal, after 3 games without a win in the Premier League, will be returning to winning ways as the referee blows the full-time whistle. It's Arsenal's day. It's they're going the 200 miles south. Gallion